Hey, it's Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Remind me not to review Pixar films and just stick with horror films. Inside joke. Anyway, this week, I need you to know that I tried my best to review Scream, the Scream 5 or requel or reboot or whatever, Scream, the 2022 version several times. The first when it came out. COVID happened one time, and then Nicole Griffith happened the other. We all know what a bad influence she is. She made me stay at a bar and drink instead of going to that movie theater. How could she? Anyway, I finally got around to watching it. The new Scream's on Paramount Plus. I did the previous one about how much Scream means to me. The first Scream, I don't particularly care for any of the sequels. It was so important in such a time when I got to see it, and changed a lot about how I thought about film and self-awareness and meta, speaking about it. And I just love Scream. This isn't any good. For the most part, this is a pretty boring movie. It made a lot of money, made a huge box office in January. The problem is it just doesn't work for me. It's directed by Matt Olpin and Tyler Gillett, and I'm a huge fan of theirs. Actually, they did a movie I love called Ready or Not, which I highly recommend you watch over this kind of POS. For the most part, I think these people in it are phoning it in, except David Arquette and Jack Quaid. And you might know Jack Quaid. He's one of the guys in the movie, but he's also the lead in The Boys, which is a show I highly recommend on Amazon about superheroes. I think David Arquette does a great job in this film. I'm not even a David Arquette fan. And so the movie's fairly simple. It takes place 25 years after a streak of brutal murders. Shocked. It's self-referential, just like the other Scream films. It talks about Stab and how Stab, which is the movie in Scream, that was the movie based on Scream and what happened in the book that was written by Gail. You've seen Scream. You know what I mean. You've seen these movies. It talks about how Stab 7 went off the rails and wasn't important or didn't have anything to do, and it's awful, and how the franchise sucked and just went nowhere. It taught me the new word requel. Some scenes in it I liked, but for the most part, I think it's just a pretty boring film. Like I said, I was highly disappointed that it wasn't more engaging, because these guys that made Ready or Not, I thought Ready or Not just kicked ass. Much better film than this, much more original, a lot of fun. So it's about two sisters. One of them gets stabbed by the guy. You come back. Who's killing? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? I can't really tell you much, but might give something away. Most of these things you should be able to figure out, though. Ghostface is hacking at him again. I cannot in any way, shape, or form recommend the new Scream, the 2022 Scream. I probably am the last one to watch it, so you probably already seen it and now think I'm just awful, which is fine. I just thought it was kind of boring. And I thought most of them were just phoning it in. I really did. Except for David Arquette. For some odd reason, David Arquette's performance really worked for me. So don't go out and watch Scream, but you probably already have. This has been Joe Lewis. Also, don't let Nicole Griffith be a bad influence on you, like she has been on me. Love you, Nicole. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.